Back in the hospital 3 weeks after a heart attack, and I had a stress test done this morning. I was brought in yesterday. I was experiencing some chest pain and from the day before, and I believe it was from side effects from my medication. The Brilinta, which is a platelet thinner. Typically I take that right before I eat my breakfast. I didn't on Tuesday have any food right away. Then noticed a strange sensation in my chest. I felt like I couldn't breathe well, or felt like tightness in my chest. I was concerned. I knew I needed to eat something. Maybe that would make it go away. Called my wife. She said yes. She just read that that's one of the main side effects from that Brilinta, a feeling of shortness of breath, and that it's very important that if it comes and if it goes away, then that's important. It's a common side effect, but if it sustains, you gotta call your doctor, which I did. They had my wrong number, so they didn't call me back Tuesday. I called them again Wednesday morning before 11 a.m. and they told me they were going to give me a different medication, Plavix, to, once a day, because it doesn't have the same side effect. But after I was in my office for a little bit, started experiencing, kind of more of an extreme pain of that same caliber in my chest, and just felt really weak, felt not well at all. And of course, everybody's yelling at me to be taken to the hospital or call 911, and so we called 911. I sat at my office on the couch until the ambulance got there, and they came and got me, hooked me up right away to their EKGs and asked 1,000 questions, or just a few about what's going on. And obviously, main concern was chest pain I'm having. I just had surgery 3 weeks ago, and I'm not feeling well. So they brought me in back at North Broward. I checked in similarly to how I was 3 weeks ago, but obviously they weren't prepping me for any kind of surgery. The EKGs weren't showing any stress in the heart electrical system. They did say they could see where on the EKG where my heart attack was somehow. Obviously, I guess, knowing the fact that I had surgery and looking at the EKG and being able to read it, they can say, oh, okay, that's why there's an anomaly on this one chart or whatever. So they wanted to keep me overnight for testing, for more blood tests, and then ultimately this morning for a stress test, which I'm waiting to be taken to. It's about 7 a.m. Thursday morning. Just spoke with a doctor. Said stress test will help determine if it's the heart or if it's something else. Over the past 3 weeks since I was discharged, I had been feeling pretty good. I've been getting better every day up until this past Tuesday. It was the first time I started feeling any kind of pain in my chest. And basically, I would say that I would feel well until I took my medication. Then I would feel not as good. And it was discouraging, obviously, because as I'm physically starting to feel well, then alarm goes off to take certain medication, and then next thing you know, I'm not feeling well again. Either I'm in a little bit of a haze or a dizziness or unmotivated state when on the medication, but was managing the medication very well up until recently. Apparently, food is a major important part to not take these medications while on empty stomach. But we will find out shortly after the stress tests and more imaging of my heart. Last night they injected me with a dye, and 3 hours later took me up for special imaging of my heart. They're going to do the stress test and then do the imaging again to see the comparison. I don't feel at the moment that heaviness on my chest, but being in the hospital is very uncomfortable, and you never really get any rest in these places. So if you ever have to go to the hospital, get yourself an eye mask, maybe some earplugs or earphones. You need to rest in order to heal. I'll do an update after the stress test and get some results.